Though the device atop the tower spins in wild, blurring revolutions, the air around it is still and calm. You stand in the eye of the storm, which has cordoned off Andra's mortar from the rest of Aor for thousands of years. You see an antiquated control panel. Its levers engage in positions of activation. And something about this place echoes with ancient awareness. Discorporate feelings of longing and distress reach out to you. Haven't beat this game, so I can't say, but I got a feeling it's either now or maybe a fight or two later. Oh dear. Oh dear. Your mind is assaulted with the complex symbols and postures, most of them beyond your reckoning. As the sensation pulls away, you recognize that it left behind knowledge of water shaping as it existed long ago. Armed with this memory, a capable water shaper might wield the power of this and their ancestors. Takeo should find this interesting. A deep percussion shakes the tower by its roots. Somewhere in the obscurity of the storm, Aethys rears back his fist to deliver a mighty blow. This is it, chat. The control panel has withered the millennia better than the rest of the city. A layer of dust covers its elegant glass tubes and engraved copper levers, which appear both intact and fully functional. Deactivate the machine. And you grip the largest of the levers and bring it down up to its starting position. The vibration of the machinery gradually slows and turbulent winds grow calm.
The machine controlling the storm winds down. The clattering of its machinery settles into a low whir and then, at last, hiccups to a halt. Beyond the tower, the black, roiling clouds of Andra's mortar roll away from the ancient city of Ukaizo, with only a tired sigh of wind to see them off. And on that last breath of wind, comes to you a familiar sound. The ring of a bell. The bell's ringing is soft, not the clangor and torrent you've grown used to. It calls to your soul, and your soul yearns to follow it. Your soul flees from your body and into the beyond, chasing that sound. It leads you at last to Bareth's realm, to that cold platform and room of endless doors.
Oh God, we forgot to read her book. I remembered it had like a burning sensation last night. Well, oh well.
Watcher, your journey nears its conclusion.
The pallid night stands before you, her gaunt face impassive.
I'm frightened, Brath.
I would think you a fool, were you not? Change unsettles, and not even the gods are immune to fear. Soon you will confront Aethys for what will likely be the final time, and you will do so as the Herald of Bareth, the only creature on the face of Aora to whom he will listen. Remember that.
The pallid night inclines her head to you, black hair hanging lank in her face. She steps back and cedes the floor to Helia with a small, resigned sigh.
If Aethys truly intends to go through with his mad plan to destroy the wheel, a generation's worth of souls will be trapped in the in-between. So many would suffer. How can Aethys be so cruel? He cannot just abandon them. Aethys must help the Kith find a quick solution.
Abaddon strides forward.
Aethys thrust this crisis on the Kith. They did not bring it upon themselves. Their only mistake was entrusting us to watch over them. Who will help them rebuild their world now?
Aethys will reveal every secret of the gods. Will Kith be able to change the established order if they have no wonder to inspire them? Aethys must help them resolve this quickly, lest every one of Aora's few remaining mysteries be laid plain.
It's Aethys' obligation to help us fix what he's about to break.
Coddled children learn nothing that is not spoon-fed to them. With the wheel destroyed, Kith will tear themselves apart. It is the gods' duty to prevent that happening, lest they doom us all. And as Kith must be ruled, so too must the gods. I say that if Aethys is so eager to throw down the mantle of power and step aside, I shall take my rightful place as Queen of the Gods again.
Kith are strongest when they follow our lead, and we are strongest when we lead in turn. United in purpose with the gods, Kith can accomplish things that without us, they could never have even begun. They must be shown their boundaries to surpass them.
Kith will not solve Aethys' puzzle on their own. And without an established order to fight against, the bonds that bind them dissolve, and they fight amongst themselves.
Woedica doesn't want them to solve it. No. No. We have to figure this out in our own time, at our own pace.
That confidence is what will save Kith, Watcher. Do not lose it when you stand before Aethys.
Woedica's firm hand is but the motherly smothering of Helia by another name. Mortals should have no special advantages. Only once Kith have striven to improve themselves through trial will they truly know their measure. Kith must suffer to find their strength if they are to survive the world into which Aethys drags them. Our intervention in your struggle would be a cruelty and counter to our purpose.
He lets his words hang in the air for a moment. Gaze, level with your own.
Indeed. Kith must discover for themselves what it is they are worth, and of what it is they are capable. What we do for them, they do not learn for themselves. Trial breeds ingenuity. If our work of generations was not in vain, Kith will succeed in spite of Aethys' actions. I have faith in Kith's ability to meet Aethys' challenge. Do not mistake my words for indifference, Watcher. They are born from a fierce belief in your potential, not a refutation of it.
One of you has tried to convince me that mortals are destined to fail, but I don't believe it.
And yet you come to Okaizo alone, with none at your back. All that Kith stand to lose. And even then your leaders could not join hands, squabbling instead over prestige and resources. You believe that will change when my final death comes calling? You are a greater fool than I thought. Margaret is blinded by her affection for mortals. She does not see that entropy is the destiny of all things. If Aethys were wise, he would destroy everything. End life, end reincarnation, end death. Kith have had their chance. It is time to let silence reign.
As Rimmergon's words fade, the Pallid Knight returns. She no longer towers over you, a giant even among the gods, but meets you at your height. She lets the arms crossed over her chest fall to her sides. She speaks to you openly, plainly, an expression almost like tenderness, turning up the corners of her lips.
Well, Watcher, you know where we stand. What do you believe?
True change, lasting change, it demands sacrifice. The coming days will be hard, but will be the better for it. You know, I really like that one.
Take care that you do not sacrifice all, Watcher. Only what you must. The things you stand to lose, lives, institutions, beliefs, you may lose for good. Now the time has come for us to part, Watcher. I laid upon you a difficult duty, and I know you desire to be free of it. You will be in time, but not now. You have work to do yet. You are no stranger to hard choices. You killed Theos, and when his soul was laid bare before you, you chose to return it to the wheel. You made his memory his penance. Remember the strength it took to make that choice, and know that you alone may sway Aethys now. When you stand before him, choose your words carefully.
The gods depart one by one in brooding silence. A solitary figure remains perfectly still until the last of her colleagues is out of earshot. Woedica peers down at you, a triumphant grin splitting her weathered features.
Bareth is a fool if she thinks I'll let her enjoy the last word. You were trusted with a heavy responsibility, Watcher. Speaking for mortals, and representing their interests in the future to come.
Indeed. Did my choices teach you anything about us?
Instead of working with mortals, you came this far on your own. You rejected compromise, idealism, and the solutions of others. My every suspicion is confirmed. Society needs us. Eora searches for its queen, and finds only an empty throne. I won't disappoint my subjects for long. Before we part, what compelled you to reject every dissenting voice and go your own way?
I'm taking a break from being everyone's mediator. Who rules the Deadfire is none of my concern.
Uh-huh. Consider my curiosity appeased. For now, in our grandest plans, you are a singularly unpredictable variable. Whether you heeded my wisdom or not, everything you've done to get this far has informed our view of mortal kind. I hope you're satisfied with your performance. We've learned much from each other.
Did I make a difference? Are mortals ready to own their destiny?
The trading companies, the locals, and even the pirates had desperate, half-cocked plans to counter this threat. You denied them all, rightfully judging mortals as ill-equipped to claim their destiny. I couldn't agree more. When at last I claim my place of leadership among you, the only challenge will be convincing the others to go along with my revised plan of Eora. Aethys will no doubt have a sunnier outlook on mortals and their chances of success. He already has everything he wants, so go and listen to his empty-headed idealism. The rest of us will be sharpening our blades, preparing for the future he lays out for us.
Oh, jeez. There's Aethys right there. Okay. Consciousness returns in a wave as the last of the machine's energy dissipates. The claiming of the storm reveals the sprawling city around you like a sand wiped from a mosaic. You see the distant outline of Aethys raising his fist in triumph and purpose.
You keep falling asleep on me, I'm gonna have to start walking behind you with a pillow. Oh, by the way, the storm's gone. Also, I think Aethys has ended the world.
He takes a long draw from his pipe and nods as he stares at the Colossus in the
It
distance.
seems we're all still here.
It is good to see you awake. It seems the storm has passed.
Gods and darnation. My head.
And peering over the edge of the tower, you make it a distant shape. An iron-studded warship has dropped anchor in the shallows, its cannons angled to the shore. The ship is nearly cracked in half, but the standard of the Royal Deadfire Company persists in flapping with the breeze. The empty deck tells that the surviving crew have long since boarded a skiff and rowed to shore, which means you're no longer alone on Ukaizo. If ever there was a place for a final standoff, it's Ukaizo. Oh, dear God. Here we go. Okay. Hey, man, gotta take care of something over in my world. Everything's fine, but gotta go have a great rest of your night / stream. Take it easy on everyone. Yep, you too, man. You too. Hazanui, Kari approaches her weapon drawn. Her face is bruised and cut, and her uniform torn from the rough journey. But her eyes are clear and focused on you.
Here's a sight I never thought I'd see. A trencher turning his back on his own people. What did it cost for you to sell out your homeland?
Why are we arguing about this when Aethys is destroying the cycle?
I can't stop him. Neither can you. But I can give my country a chance at weathering what comes next. Roataians! Defend Ukaizo!
Oh no.
Trouble, folks.
Great.
Here we go.
Just like that.
Forced to battle.
No, man. No.
I think I'm stuck.
Moeth, Ixie, Ona.
Oh, and music is gone, so which means we're gonna have to reload.
So good.
This one's for Keyleth.
As one. As one. As one!
This is futile.
Oh god, there's like no sound, period.
Moeth,
That's
Ixie,
it?
Ona. Just like that.
Let's get started.
It hardly seems fake.
This is very strange. Yes, it is very strange. Fighting without even, like, combat sounds.
This one's for Keyleth.
Good. Moeth, Ixie, Ona. Ah, ooh, fan. Just like that.
Merla, I was almost finished. Perfecto.
Here we go.
Happy to oblige. All right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the stuff.
Okay, there we go. Oh, this was unfortunate. What? So I hope I don't have to fight all the guys. I hope I don't have to fight all of them.
That's right.
Ah, hey! Omnipotent. After empowering an ability, nearby allies gain brilliance for 4 seconds. Oh. Well. Oh my god, what am I doing looting? I don't need to loot. Anyways, let's go ahead and make a save here. We'll go ahead and put this back onto Big Fight. Where's Big Fight? Wait, where was Big Fight? Ah, Big Fight right here. Boom. Ah, really? I have to reload the whole damn thing. Ah, balls. That was unfortunate. Oh, what would be hilarious is if this doesn't even sync at all today. And there we go. That would have been hilarious. It just didn't sync. It just took forever just to sync. I was just like, oh, so I'm just not going to finish it at all today, huh? Well, fan-freaking-tastic. Let's try this again, shall we? Hopefully. Here we go. And continue. Come on, I want to finish this. I want to finish this. Hold on. What? Wait, what? Hold on, what? Did I miss something? Ah, right there. Yep, I did miss something. Here we go, chat. This is it.
You descend into the ancient winding streets of Ukaizo. Battered by storms for thousands of years, the ruins bear the marks of their role as the lone witnesses of the god's great secret at the center of the city. The houses and boulevards are pierced by great spears of luminous Audra. There are no ashen bodies, no birds, no sign or sound of any life. But with every step, the rhythmic pounding in the distance draws nearer. Soon, you can feel the vibration traveling up your spine. As you approach the center of the city, the weathered architecture gives way to more luminous Audra, piercing the ruins, eventually overtaking them entirely. Cresting the top of a fallen tower, you finally get a clear view of Aethys. He stands, legs astride, next to a great stone monument ringed with 11 cavernous alcoves. All but 3 hold a gargantuan skeleton, bones scrubbed clean by the city's storms. An immense Angwithan machine floats above the monument, suspended by invisible energy emanating from a well of light beneath it. Great brass rings spin around a core of metal and Audra at the machine's center. Periodically, Aethys's massive arms swing back. The movement alone is enough to draw great gusts of wind toward him. When they come down on the machine, the impacts are accompanied by eruptions of electricity, fire, and smoke. The hundreds of luminous Audra pillars across Ukaizo sympathetically dim in a rippling wave that spreads out from the machine. The only safe route to the god is a steep ascent along a monstrous pillar of luminous Audra. Intertwined with fragments of Ukaizo's ruins that it has carried through the centuries, the pillar bends in a long arc, towering above the machine. The pillar levels out near Aethys's head, a silent observer to the destruction of the machine it has grown beside over thousands of years. You weave your way along a treacherous, rain-slicked path up the pillar's skyward side. As you arrive at the top, you catch Aethys's attention. Fist pulled back, he pauses to observe you.
Oh, here it is. Final confrontation.
Strange to see Ukaizo in this way. It may be hard to picture, but this city was once full of life. The Huana, yes, but also kith from many other cultures. Great hanging trees shadowed these boulevards. Gardens sprawled across the open rooftops. Each spring, a festival procession would wind its way from the hillside into this valley. The celebrants would pass through a steep walk among the stalls of foreign merchants, flowers falling upon them from all sides. All people of all nations, together in a celebration of new life. Such was the power and beauty of lost Ukaizo.
The soul of Widewind appears out from the masses, trailing in your wake. He looks up at Aethys and clears his throat.
Been a while, old friend. Widewind, I did not think to see you here. But few things go as expected when the Watcher is involved. We were a good team. Once. But this isn't what we fought for. Ain't you just burning the harvest because you planted the wrong seeds? An astute observation, old friend. Consider instead that I am giving the soil back to those who till it. Spring must always follow winter. As long as there are people committed to finding the other side of change, the agony will not last. But thank you for challenging me as you did in fairer times. I haven't forgotten the lesson we strove to impart. You're welcome, I suppose.
Aethys shifts his attention back to you.
This isn't right. You can't put this burden on us. You can't make the gods' problems our problems, our responsibility to fix. How can you have faith that what you're doing is good? You know how many people are going to suffer because of this. No matter how you spin this, you can't set it straight.
Adair, I wish I could explain it to you. It breaks my heart that I cannot. But no matter how much you curse me, do not despair. The souls of this world will need people like you. Lights burning brightly in the darkness to come.
Gone, please, I'm begging you. What do I do following this? How am I to best serve those still living? To improve our future chances of survival?
The Deadfire and the Eastern Reach are full of animancers. Women and men with brilliant minds who can solve this great problem. They will also need people with brilliant souls, like you, Shodi. People who can tend to the spiritual needs of the world in a time of fear and desperation. Remember, the flame you bear is not only light, but warmth. Provide comfort to all who need it.
Aethys shakes his head, looking up at Aethys.
What right do you have to do this? Destroy the wheel and leave us with nothing? Without even knowing what will come next?
Aloth, we are all gods and mortals, responsible for our own actions. But inaction carries its own moral responsibility. It is a burden I have carried for far too long. One must always do as their conscience dictates, even if that means abdicating a position of power.
I want you to know, I appreciate what you are doing.
Ah, but Pallegina, you do so only because in this, you foresee the death of my kin. We have wronged you. We have wronged all mortals for far too long. But after this moment, you may see a change in my brothers and sisters. Humility can be good for the soul, even a god's. But what of you, Watcher? Why have you followed me? Have you come to bear witness to the breaking of the wheel?
Mortals are going to need a head start on things to prevent the gods from re-establishing control. You need to inspire them. I've come as an actual, or one. I come to ask you to take pity on the mortals of this world who will suffer for your actions. Huh. Yeah, we'll do that one.
It is pity for mortals that drives me, Watcher. I have felt it in every step I have taken to cross the Deadfire and reach this place. What more would you have me do?
The souls trapped in the in-between will present a dilemma for Animasters. Some may attempt to protect the souls instead of working on a solution for the wheel.
While I hope that Animancers would realize the ultimate importance of repairing the wheel, I admit that many may be distracted by the problem of lost souls. I know such sympathy should be commended, even though I recognize what trouble it could cause. Thank you for making me think of the lost souls, Watcher. I will provide a haven for them after my work here is finished. Indulge me in a moment's curiosity. There is something I wish to know about Eora, about Kith, that I can only learn through your eyes.
What can I know that you don't?
You followed me all this way, dodging an armada, navigating an impenetrable wall of storms, voyaging across uncharted seas, besting a guardian who existed to bar your trespass, with the machinations of gods echoing in your ears, and you did so on your own. That is no small achievement. Kith across Eora will hear the tale of it, and look to you with awe. I believe that mortals possess the strength to collaborate and shape a future of their own design. not all of my brothers and sisters agree. I had hoped your actions would set an example for the future, demonstrating the resilience and ingenuity of mortals when they work together. Coming to Ukaizo unencumbered by alliances proves a different point than the one I intended, but it is a valuable one all the same. What inspired your decision, Watcher? Did the choice echo your foundational beliefs, or were you influenced by observation?
Mortals couldn't work through their petty differences. I didn't have time to wait for them to see reason.
I thank you for your perspective. Yours is not the only opinion that concerns me, but for the moment, it offers much to consider. All I ever wanted for mortals was growth, transformation. Once, my brothers and sisters shared this goal. Some have forgotten themselves, giving into fatalism or tyranny. Others have succumbed to apathy. It brings me great sorrow that crisis is the only way to set the future in motion. Would that I could pass the responsibility of heralding your darkest hour to another. You shirked the aid of others and came this far alone. But I think you'll find that the future is built on trust, cooperation, and understanding among kith.
Before this is over, it's my turn to ask the questions.
Ask. You are entitled to any answer that is mine to give.
What happens after the wheel breaks?
The great work of the Inguithans falls to ruin. Reincarnation as we know it will end. Souls which currently await new life in the beyond will be born into the world as normal, but their numbers will not replenish. Anything that dies will tarry in the void of the in-between, awaiting the motion of a wheel that no longer turns. Once the beyond has emptied, every birth will be hollow-born. Other maladies of the soul may follow, and plague those who linger in life. Unless mortals work together to carve a new path, the essence of life will be trapped in the netherworld. Gods will starve. Eora will grow silent and cold.
How long until Eora is devoid of all life?
A generation or more. That much essence is already poised to flow into Eora. But unlike an hourglass, no amount of turning will compel the sand to reverse its course. Should you choose, you could lay down your burden and trust in your children's children to set matters right. That depends entirely on you. By your reckoning, there are still good years to come. By ours, time is short.
Mortals aren't the only ones in jeopardy. What you're doing threatens the gods.
Yes. They must work toward a solution or perish. If that task is beyond their skill, then they no longer deserve their position. I would have them justify their right to lead. That could mean swallowing their pride and hearkening to the wisdom of mortals. Some, I expect, will perform better than others.
Why won't reincarnation just go back to how it was before the wheel?
When we tamed the cycle of reincarnation, we broke what had once functioned naturally and without intervention. The flow of essence will not normalize on its own. Essence will simply pool in the void of the in-between, never passing through Adra networks to the beyond. The dead will be left to wander in darkness, confusion, and sorrow.
How can anyone trust the gods after what you've done?
No one is worthy of unconditional trust. If you feel the gods are beyond forgiveness, then they don't deserve your obedience. Make your future one that doesn't require them.